What was once highly respected, that is now a complete joke. Story 1. Ancient Aliens is great if you want a good laugh, to be honest. A couple months ago, I watched 2 episodes for shits and giggles, and it was truly an amazing experience. One was going on about how alien leaders are giant praying mantises, because why not? And the other was about how the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot are actually aliens who use hidden portals to teleport around the world and evade capture. 10/10. Funnier than most comedies I've seen. Story 2. Bank managers. They used to have serious power in local communities. Now they have to be glorified customer service reps a lot of the time. I left my old bank because of this. All I wanted to do was deposit my checks and get my free sucker, but they insisted on trying to push whatever new reward scheme they had going. So I started using the drive-up teller to avoid this, until the drive-up teller started doing the same thing. So I left and went to a credit union. Every now and then, I get an email survey from the CU asking multiple questions about my recent visit. But one question that always shows up is, "Did the teller inform you of our XXX program?" My reply is always the same. No, and if they ever do, I will be closing out my account. If you want to inform me about new programs, email or snail mail me the info. Do not have the tellers do it. Story 3. People are going to reflexively deny its initial popularity, but Facebook, it even used its exclusivity as its primary marketing tool during its initial launch only for colleges. I remember the mass exodus from MySpace to Facebook, and me not wanting to do it because I liked my little HTML-coded background flames over my text, and my overly edgy dark themes with music playing from bands so unknown that even I've forgotten them now. But then, we all got FB, and it became so big I kept trying to get my dad on it, and he refused because of safety reasons and privacy. I thought he was weird back then, and my sisters even made him a profile that he had them take down. Then, about 8 years ago, he made an account. Now his entire life is consumed by endlessly scrolling through FB, reposting old memes and signing up for every online offer there is. It's like he did a 180 on his security stance about the time I actually started to understand it. Story 4. Hobbies. I am a hobbyist musician, and will never try to make money off of my music. I simply enjoy creating it with zero expectations. Hustle culture ruined a lot of that because now every time I share my music with people, it turns into a conversation about monetization or how I'm wasting my time on something. It's hard to even find like-minded people who want to collaborate without it turning into some big thing. Time enjoyed is not time wasted. Edit. Wow, this blew up. Thanks for the replies. Keep doing what you love. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, but don't be pressured to do something you don't want to do. The world is full of people who want what you have. Trust me, don't let them take it if it's taking a chunk of you with it. Story 5. Landline telephones. The house phone used to be a vital link to the outside world. It's how you'd talk to friends and family far away, interact with businesses, call for help in an emergency, etc. But once junk calls were allowed to spiral completely out of control, the phone became a nuisance. As someone I saw said a while back, a Gen Z person would sooner jump on a live grenade than accept an incoming call from an unknown number. And that's in the context of mobile phones, which don't get nearly as much spam. Wired phones are almost completely useless today. Story 6. The Guinness Book of World Records. Once a well-established and professional collection of every impressive human feat, now a quick ego boost for rich kids that have barely enough talent to balance an egg on their forehead for 15 seconds on a July afternoon at exactly 11:55 a.m. while wearing a Hello Kitty onesie. Story 7. One of the funniest things ever will always be that Little Ellen Kid's show being announced literally the same year as her mistreatment of backstage coworkers coming out. This was after it was announced that 3 seasons had been made and 4 seasons were in production. They half-heartedly released the 2nd season on a streamer service, and to date, there's never been any distribution of that 3rd season that finished production. Odds are, it'll end up lost media a few years from now as it rots in the production company's archives, and it'll be the funniest thing ever. Story 8. Unfortunately, education, facts, and subject matter experts. Everyone thinks they are an expert because they can Google something. Regardless of their confirmation bias, everyone thinks they are an expert until reality fails their self-made degree or expertise. The Dunning-Kruger effect has made the previously stated skill sets a joke. Story 9. The U.S. Postal Service. A decades-long campaign to smear their reputation coupled with legislation designed to cripple the service has turned them from the reason Santa Claus isn't institutionalized in Miracle and 34th Street to a comedian's punching bag. And yeah, last time I went to the post office the service was terribly slow, but they had one window open in a building with 5 windows. Seemed kind of understaffed. Story 10. Content creators. I remember when YouTube was just people sharing ideas and laughter for the sake of it. I would get on Xbox after school and me and my friends would talk about the latest Smosh video or episode. Now every unskilled nobody with an iPhone calls themselves a content creator, even though their content is just trendy algorithmic garbage that no one enjoys. Everyone just wants to get paid for doing the bare minimum. I had a friend who decided to quit his real job to pursue content creation. He spent years trying to make content people gave a shit about. First he made a gaming channel, except he only plays like 3 games, and very badly I might add, that 1,000 other channels already cover extensively, so that idea failed. Next, he tried making a sports journalism channel, but instead of reporting the information in a professional manner, he decided to be some shock jockey that just loudly expresses his opinions about the sports-related news. He is also married to a woman with more patience than I've ever seen. She has been paying all the bills for years, so this asshole could pursue his dream of never having to actually work again. He's also spent thousands of her money on expensive lighting and camera equipment for his channel that he's made almost no money with. It also doesn't help that he's made this hobby his entire personality, and now he's just unbearable to talk to. And I was his best friend that couldn't even be honest with him because this man who wants to be seen by millions can't take the smallest bit of criticism. It would be so much different if these people were making content just because it's something they enjoy doing, but most, if not all of them, have this unhealthy desire to be noticed so that someone else will give them money they didn't do anything to earn. ETA, I don't deny that there is still good content out there right now, even though you have to really search for it. But I will always look at someone who seriously makes content for a living as a glorified circus clown. People used to have real jobs and make content as a hobby or side project that wasn't their main source of income. Content creators are this generation's version of the aspiring actor, and these people even moved to California in an attempt to be where the action is. There's people with applicable skills that they can use outside of internet culture, and they choose to pursue content creation because they think it'll be easy and that they can make content instead of going to work every day like everyone else. I agree that we should all strive to work less and enjoy life more, but it's just such an asinine way to communicate your desire to not work. Story 11. Levi's blue jeans. They used to last forever. Now I'm lucky to get a year out of them. They always fail in the same spot too. No idea why, but I'm not alone online about this. I bought a pair of Lucky jeans on a deal. Never had a pair of them before. Now, they just might be my new favorite. Story 12. American-made products. That phrase used to mean quality. Products built by people getting paid a living wage. With unions being a thing of the past in most instances, and society's attitude shifting towards not giving 2 shits about pride and craftsmanship due to being squeezed by corporate overlords from every single direction, you get American-made products that wouldn't pass QC in any factory anywhere in the world. China has made such amazing strides in their process that I truly believe most of their products coming from name-brand companies are more consistent and of better value than their American counterpart. Musical gear is a great example. Chinese guitars are legit. They rival any American guitar in terms of what you get for your money. This isn't always the case, but to me, the term American-made now means a gamble that the thing you're buying could be great, or it could be complete shit. Story 13. More like companies being loyal to employees, providing a good wage, raises, benefits, pensions, etc. Why should employees stay out of loyalty when companies aren't loyal or acting in their best interests? It's a job. The entire idea of loyalty to a job is a joke. My work is pulling this shit right now. Applied for an internal promotion and got a 30-minute meeting telling me to stay in my lane. Apparently the proper etiquette is to let your supervisor decide when you should be promoted and apply for you. Fuck that noise. If you open a position I'm qualified for, I'm applying. Coworker who's been here a year longer and makes less than me asked for a raise and was shut down because it would bad for company morale. We're both on our way out. I've applied for 15 new jobs so far this week. Heard back from 5 that rejected me without an interview, but I'll keep applying and make it very clear why I'm leaving on my exit interview. Story 14. Working in the educational system. Being a teacher still sounds worthy of respect, But working as one is a joke. Kids are free to do whatever they want. You're barely allowed to punish bad behavior in any way. School politics stop from changing anything. Parents always blame you, etc. I feel so bad for teachers. Their job is one of the most important in our entire society, yet they get paid scraps and saddled with all kinds of bullshit from politicians. Many of mine worked incredibly hard and genuinely loved their jobs, but you could tell they were exhausted. And the schools I went to were damn good as far as public schools go, and they still struggled with funding. I can't even imagine what goes on at the worse-off ones. Or even the same schools currently. My state's governor has been cutting education funding like no tomorrow. Story 15. Honestly, I feel like in the past 6 years, especially in the past 2 to 3 years since the pandemic, people as a whole of all backgrounds, ethnicities, political views, etc., have had a massive decline in trust and faith in many societal institutions and perceived people of power and prestige, as well as each other as human beings. This is a major part of what's leading to our world seeming so much more fractured and unstable, and I think it's only going to get worse.